Stranger things have happened.
It's spinning on the sign-in. Click here to migrate. No, I got to migrate. I haven't migrated yet.
You said 6.
You are seeing me migrate live. It's probably like watching paint dry, but hey.
They are. On Twitch, it looks like it's just.
You just click once?
You know, some fan is going to analyze this frame by frame and figure out your password.
Where you punch the stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Like never underestimate the fans.
With the space between the clicks and stuff.
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, you know when they released the Orange and they had 1979 for the date? That significant of anything?
If
Hey,
it was,
somebody bring Ben a laptop. I need him.
Say again?
Somebody bring Ben a laptop. I need him online.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've got to go. I was like,
my phone.
Oops.
I can get a superhero. I'm ready.
Technology.
Okay, now my big question is, what am I going to keep? Am I going to keep my login or my handle? I think I may just keep it as my handle and then have a new login. Okay, here we go. Migration. Login ID. So new. Can I keep that and have a different login?
I agree. Oh.
Hey, everyone in this room, close their eyes, please. You know, you don't have to. Don't worry about it.
No. I'm just going to get really drunk so I don't remember it.
Very good year.
That shouldn't be hard for you.
Don't see how that's a bad thing.
Where did I put that stone cargo?
I know where I'm going to put it later.
Maybe my password must be stronger.
That's what happened to me.
Unique? What? What's going on with this? I can't just have like letters and numbers.
I finally
No, but it's got to pass the test. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sitting there on the laptop.
I did when I was on the testing thing. Yeah.
Hold shift and type it once, then let go of shift and type it again.
That's quite cool. Let's see if it's got level 2. Sure.
We'll use language. Won't be again.
Password C.
I don't know. I'm not going to kill it.
Not in front of the women.
I don't know. What now?
Be a good QA artist.
I got a text from the guys on.
Oh, I finally managed to.
They're waving. Yeah. No matter what.
Like the I for it.
What's that?
The I for it terms of service.
Oh yeah, sorry, I couldn't see it on the thing. Have you tested the site too?
I did not.
Oh, see. Just eagle-eyed.
And I'm pretty sure you make the terms of service.
Yeah.
Not much.
What, someone took your login ID?
It didn't tell me. That's,
You have to submit it before it'll tell you if the login ID has been
Looks like you
used.
got a space between the
no, it's just someone's taken it. All right, who out there's got Crowbits 1968?
That was me.
I'll be right back.
burning bombs.
That's for later.
So you're trying to do this online.
You wait for the knee to fall off and everybody's jumping on it. So did everybody else.
I'm not saving you fools.
People are out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's very good. Analyzing my keystrokes. Successful. Account migrated. All right, here we go. So now, yeah.
No, I can't do that.
Let's go to.
You just didn't like him around.
The profile for whoever took it in.
Wow, it's kind of slow. Where's John?
Yeah, usually it's from
We obviously don't have enough servers up. Brutal.
I'll go check with John, see what's going on.
I've migrated now. I'm just waiting to go to the main page.
You migrated already? Damn.
Where's everybody? We just left with fans.
Oh,
Are they all
yeah. I just kicked everyone out.
I'm in
It's just
charge
fans
now.
out.
Everyone's trying for the Russian.
Yeah, in the true spirit of crowdsourcing, we're actually going to crowdsource the live stream. All right.
Are you sure?
Hey, I just wanted to give a little announcement to some of the people who are having some trouble migrating.
Definitely, yeah.
This morning I had trouble migrating my account as well, and all I had to do was go to the account recovery process, reset my password, so it'll send you an email, and you'll get a link in your email. You click on it, it'll allow you to reset your password, and then once you do that, you should be able to migrate. I've seen a lot of people on the Twitch chat saying that they can't.
Hey, I got service unavailable.
That's just what they need to do. So.
No, I just migrate.
Yeah, some people's accounts aren't actually migrating. My account this morning wouldn't migrate either,
Okay.
and doing that actually fixed it.
Okay. Yeah, I just had this website become unavailable to me. We have 16 servers, and obviously that's not enough too. So I promise we'll get to the. Here we are. Okay, great.
It's
Now
never
we're
a
on
bad thing.
site.
It's popular.
I think
We have just fans in here, right?
it's this feels like the beginning of the. Let's see.
Are you looking for?
Leave in here.
Avenger.
Feedback.
So as long as it stops spinning. Wow.
17 was the last one. I think he's probably gone up since then.
Oh. He's down like 2
Oh, what do
left.
we got? Let's go.
At one point he was, but I mean.
Right.
Okay.
That's weird.
I definitely wait more now.
Yeah, put it in front of me, it gained 30 pounds.
Oh, probably no one can actually-
I'm now up to 250.
What's that? Can't remember. But... Oh man, brutal.
Yeah, I mean, you create posts and
Yeah, well, no wonder it's.
Hey guys, I just talked to John.
Alright, stop touching up the mic, please. He's trying to.
It is an issue with load balancing the turbulent is working on right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that people can't do much because I kept on getting service unavailable screens. So introducing the avatar, the Avenger, sorry. So here are the different.
Apparently people are pledging, people are migrating their accounts, but it's kind of unreliable right now. So we're hoping to have it smooth in the very near future. But in the meantime, we'll still be able to reveal new content on the live stream. So keep watching.
You always do shots.
Certainly like the way our pictures work. Here's the specifications. I guess I don't know if you. What's that? Yeah, no, it carries. It can carry. So it's actually. I don't know what. Hey Ben, what's the 300 eyes cargo? It's not as big, right?
No.
What's that?
How much is the 300 eye carry cargo? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's like less than Avenger, right?
Yeah, it's less. It's like 5 tons maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the max was.
I think
I feel like
it's
8
8.
is.
Eight.
With the racer
Eight.
stuff.
That's why we got you guys, so you can tell us what the ship stats are.
We should have all the brochures out in front of us. Yeah.
So now I know exactly how the Origin guys felt back in the Wing Commander days when they had to put up with me.
Well, that's the. I mean, Ben. I mean, you should tell everyone. Like half the time, I'm like, Ben, what did I do in Wing Commander? And you're like, oh, this was the ship, this is the stats. I'm like, okay, thanks, Ben.
Yeah, this is all I need, really.
Nels. I don't have a fancy, awesome.
You gotta be sure.
Desire. That's badass.
Oh, wait.
Mr. Ben.
So I'm just leaving. I don't know if you guys are.
Good to meet you.
Me too.
We should
I
talk.
got guns. Holy, are you the dude?
One of the dudes.
The dude who does the fucking shit.
The fucking shit, that's me, man!
Yes, I knew it.
He's one of the fucking shit dudes, too.
Like the videos and stuff.
we both do
Yep.
videos.
This is Legante, this is Kinshasa.
Yeah.
I'm the guy
That
with
is
the gas mask.
amazing. I didn't think I'd meet you guys ever. That's craziness.
Yeah, it's like star of the show.
I'm Nels.
Brian Kinshasa.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Brian and Mr. Legante.
And here on the conference.
So anyway, Avenger's got like one big. It's got a TR5.
Oh, shoot, over there.
Yeah,
Hello, LA team.
And it's got 3 point lasers.
Sit here, man. I think you're gonna bring a
No,
little life
you can
into.
yell
No,
at
no,
us.
go ahead. They need a little life in here.
Let's see. I wonder if these. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Thanks so much.
So there's a big center line gun, and there'll be two on the wings too. Let's see how I can. Yeah. Wow, this the media viewing on the new site's way better.
It's very cool.
Yes.
And this is after just like a morning of having to learn how to do it. So we're going to be able to do some awesome stuff once we've all learned the system.
That's the big TR5 engine in the back. And this is also going to be the ship that it's a UEE Navy trainer. So
right.
it was used for police action and advocacy action, and now they're starting to move towards modified M50s. But they use this for like going after and capturing fugitives, bringing them back, and local law enforcement. And what's that? Yeah, blasting pirates, going after Kinshatter.
Yes. We'll see about that.
That's a class 1 mount on the front. That's a fixed weapon.
Yes, a fixed weapon. It's a line point.
Is it fast?
It's set up as a Gatling where it'll spin actually.
It's fast?
It can be modded to be fast.
Okay.
Has the potential to be fast.
Yes, I know it does look a little bit like one. Maybe we'll modify it.
You're a space
So-
nitrous.
So am I the only pirate in the stream here?
In the stream, I don't know. Let's see. Combat, security,
Military.
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 Yeah,
Also, as you can see off the.
yeah. That's right.
Oh, yeah, what was that?
Kinshatter is
Candy
going to be making
jar.
sure there'll be none of your smuggling going on here.
Stuff starts disappearing. Like, I'm gonna take the bazooka.
Microphone.
All right, I'm kind of happy with this. Like,
Stolen,
like
movies
Jimmy?
and stuff off the internet. Well, it's just saying.
Yeah. Also, what was it? With All Gamer, I got involved in LAMP.
lamp.
I joined LAMP.
Yeah, actually, I have to say that that's actually one of the things that I think is one of the funnest things is that everybody's like
I know, what
long
is
before the
that?
game, groups are forming. They're different squadrons. I mean, Ben, how many different like sites are there now?
I haven't even tried to keep count lately. It's at least 100 different guilds at this point.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing that people invested that much in the universe and what's going to happen to start forming. Like, okay, here's our pirate guild. Here's our mercenary guild. Here's our bounty hunter guild. And no, I think it's great. And as far as I can tell, a lot of people are also making new friendships and doing everything online, which is pretty awesome. So
yeah, Blue Horizon is we're in alliance with a coalition of companies called Pact. I can't remember off the head because I'm not really involved with it, but our
Here comes Lamp.
I know.
but our CEO from Microsoft, he actually
There can only be one.
Okay.
And he's really involved with it, and so
cool.
it's basically a coalition of companies against pirates. So you better watch out there, King
I've been
Shadow.
replaced by the Lamp.
Give a shout out to the exchange. Pirates.
So okay, like so the exchange of pirates. Anyway, there's several other ones, right? I think. Of all
Yeah.
groups.
I think the exchange is like a guild of guilds or something like that. So
Right.
And we have something similar for the other side, per se, Pact.
Cool. Well, I'm just looking forward to getting everyone in the big sandbox and seeing what hahappens. So I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
That's an explosion.
Everybody.
Definitely going out of their way to design functionality that supports that. So it's a lot of more system oriented, a lot less. We're still doing scripted stuff, but it's less about scripted stuff and more about how the whole system works. So I think, I don't know, let me look at the schedule here. But like the way our economy system works, which I don't, maybe we're not showing, maybe we're going to do later. It will be in an updated Star Citizen pitch video. There's a little bit where I talk about it, but the way that works actually generates a lot of the missions and happenings in the universe. So as you go around in the galaxy, a lot of the stuff will all be sort of happening based on what a factory needs here, or if there's a fight here and people have spent missiles, they'll buy at a weapons store, and that weapons store needs to get more missiles, so they'll order more missiles from somewhere. The factory will make more missiles. The factory needs more raw material to make missiles, so that spawns missions for traders to come in with alloy or high explosive for that. And then if pirates are attacking the trade lanes and the raw materials aren't getting through, then like the factory would hire the mercenary guild to go and protect the ships, or there would be law enforcement that would go after the pirates. So that's all being built into a procedural system. So hopefully it will all sort of react dynamically to what players are doing. And then if players aren't taking those roles, AI jumps in and takes those roles instead. So the whole universe is basically always simulated, is always happening. And then as players get online, they sort of basically kick out an AI slot in the overall universe. So I think that's going to be really cool because it's just going to allow a lot of emergent behavior. And we're going to let people also sort of later stage games sort of buy or get control of some of the factories. And we call them sort of economic nodes. So a node can produce things and can consume things. Sometimes it just consumes, sometimes it just produces, sometimes it does both. Like a weapons factory would consume materials like steel alloy, high explosive electronics, and then it would produce missiles. So it consumes and produces. But say a planet itself is a node that would just maybe produce raw materials, and then you would need on top of it a node that would be like a mining node, which would take those raw materials and mine them, and then someone will take the raw materials to another node, which would be a refinery or a steel place that would melt them, and so on. So that's how the whole system works. All those things are generating missions in the bigger universe that either AI or players can take. So hopefully it'll be pretty cool. And very dynamic and allow for lots of different groups of players to do different things, and their actions in sort of local systems will have some effect on how the economy happens. But because we're simulating the whole universe with AI agents, it should hopefully be a case that the players can't actually destabilize the whole universe, because there'll always be a lot more AI bots, so to speak, than there will be players. So, but we'll see. But that's kind of the idea. But I think it'll be really cool for all the different factions, whether you're a pirate, you're a merchant, you're a mercenary, you're a bounty hunter, you're an explorer. There's stuff for everyone to do.
So is the plan going to be that thing always persists? Yeah, so run pirate in space to something that 45 minutes ago.
No, you steal the missiles and then you launch them back up.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for the missile.
Here's a slightly used missile.
Yeah, sort of in the biggest macro sense, definitely. So what happens is the server doesn't always put everyone together, but basically it's always simulating, like if it's an AI, it's all these missions are happening. If a player doesn't take it, it will say, okay, an AI takes the mission, it's taking steel from this planet to that planet, and it will basically chart its course. So one actually simulate it on the server in full reality, unless in full fidelity, unless there's a player that's close by that would see it, and then it would. Otherwise, it'll sort of just resolve it by going, okay, there's a 30% chance that it gets to its destination, or whatever.
Or a pirate's waiting for it.
Or a pirate. Yeah, no, that's what would happen. Well, that's the whole thing. It will be a pirate, and and there'll be either AI pirates, just like there will be player pirates. I mean, basically, the game should work like you should be able to not have a single player in it and sort of fly around as observer and see everything happening.
But does every ship always have to take off and land, or are we ever going to have like Vanduul that just materialized into existence somewhere because we needed a fight at that time?
That might take too much.
Yeah, so basically, like the sort of trading stuff would. I'm not. So we're going to like when you're down on a planet, you'll definitely see people taking off and landing, and part of that will be based on what's happening. But there's more missions going on that really anyone could see. So you will be simulating. Okay, from this planet, you're going from A to B, and like the server will know. Okay, well, I've got 100 like trade runs that go from here to here, and if you're a player hanging out in the trade run, you wouldn't actually see all of them at once because. It may be for people in different instances, but that's all getting simulated. In terms of the Vanduul, I don't know if we're on the Vanduul going to have like the whole economic system and they go about raiding parties to that level. Certainly inside the UE and all the trading it would be. So there probably would be some chance, like if you're in Vanduul space in certain areas, there's a chance that you would encounter Vanduul raiding party or something like that. But mostly the idea is to have most of the AI that you see, the NPCs in the universe, are all going about their business. So if you find them in space, it's because they should deliver goods from one planet to another, or they were hired to patrol its space or something.
And they would still be there even if there was no player?
Yes, we wouldn't simulate them flying. Like basically, they would be there, and you would just do a dice roll. Like if there was no player, and there's a pirate that's like preying on an area, and there's a merchant or convoy going with goods from one planet to another one. Basically, if there are no players to watch it, what happens is the server just essentially resolves it and says, okay, well, there is a X% chance that the convoy will get through, and it'll basically roll some dice and say, okay, well, this many missiles were done, and but if a ship gets destroyed, say like your freelancer gets destroyed,
Going back and forth.
that would actually create now demand back to buy another freelancer.
What's going on and
Ships,
there's
weapons,
whatever.
all those things have to be produced by nodes. So there's nodes on planets that are producing the ships. So the bigger ships, like a Corvette or up, those ships don't. It's like real life. Those don't get built fast. So there's actually going to be a limited supply of them in the universe that will built over time. And if it gets destroyed and you lose it, then it's not like you can just show up at like some massive, huge superstore and they've got every single ship. So that's part of the idea is that we want to encourage the players to go around the universe to basically get the best. Like, oh, this place has the best lasers. This place has this particular ship I want. So encourage people to sort of fly around the galaxy to find if they really want to like kit out the best of the best. So it's not like you just go to one store on the planet, everything's available. So that, and hopefully that will encourage people to sort of move around the galaxy.
That's pretty awesome.
So,
You'd be able to upgrade the limited ships. I know, looking at the thing about the interceptor.
Basically pretty much everything except for like the Vanduul ship, the Scythe, you can add components to. So every ship is built from components. So there's not just the base hull. There's 30, 40 different components. There are like the thrusters, all the power plant, the shields, the avionics. And the avionics can be like the various things like your targeting computer, your flight control system, life support. All those are actually discretely simulated and modeled as actual discrete items that run their own logic, and we sort of mix and match and plug them into the different ships. So you can even if you two guys have the same ship, you can configure the ship for completely different applications. Like you can configure one more just for dogfighting, and then someone else could configure it more for say smuggling, and that would be more about speed and stealth. So if you were smuggling, you would probably have a lot more sort of cooling. So we have like different cooling items because your signature, like your radar signature, is based on sort of really the heat and electronic signature you're going to put out. So you could spend money on equipment that basically reduces that. But of course, that's going to take slots. Whereas if you're a straight out brawler, you may want those slots for a more powerful shield or more weapon systems. So there's trade imbalances. So for me, like we're deliberately designing it so there isn't any one like Uber like ship that you can have. It's like it's really about kind of what role you want, and then also even on what role and how you configure that particular ship, because you should be able to, depending on the ship, most of them are configurable in several different manners. So it's a lot of rock paper scissors, which is what I think is going to be super cool, and it's also why I think that this whole pay to win thing is a silly thing, because it's just going to be really hard to have it's not an RPG where you roll the dice and it's just like, okay, this is a level 80 character beating a level 10 character will win at the time. Skill as a pilot, how you've configured your ship, what tactics you're using, all those will be important in success in combat.
So will we be able to swap anything on the Scythe at all, or is it all just fixed?
Say swap anything on the
Scythe, the Vanduul.
I don't. So the Scythe is simulated and modeled the same way as all the other ships. It's really an issue. So it will have its own like alien avionics systems and stuff. It's more an issue of where you would be able to get the items. So supposedly, if you could like strip or find or get some Vanduul items, you could do some upgrading on it, but that's not something you can run around in the UE and go to a ship store and go, hey, I need a level 2 targeting computer for my Vanduul Sky. Okay. So that's really what it is. So it's the ships are all done the same. It's just that you won't have the ability to find the parts. If you did, then you could.
Cool. Makes sense. Good question. You're gonna be Vandal Scythe grinding out there. I need my awesome targeting computer. Give me some goggles.
At least I know where to find you.
Killing Vandals?
Now you're gonna have all of Star Citizen hunting you down like deep space in the Vandal swarms.
Something gonna be like
with pirate buddies,
I don't know. So
the M50.
Yeah. So the M50 is going to have less items that you can, some yes and some no, because it's a more specific hull. So it has upgrades you can definitely do, but maybe it won't have as many options for like if you look at the base 300, it has a whole bunch of options to switch out the engines and the main thrusters on those packages, because it's a sort of more mainline ship, so there's more options. But yeah, you'll be able to change out like targeting computers and stuff like that on pretty much all the ships.
No, I mean the way you have right now for the 300i, the different packages.
Yeah, you can switch.
Are there going to be upgrades like for the limited ships?
Well, you mean you mean in terms of an M50? Package. You want an LX M50?
Right.
No, I think on the limited ships, depending, we're doing one later on that will make sense why it is the way it is. But in general, there's like one package on those sort of like rare. Although not, I mean, depends on what you do limited. So like the Starfarer is like a big space truck, and that one will have like a couple of different configurations, like a
tanker truck.
Exactly. So it sort of depends more specifically, but the M50 is basically meant to be a racer. It's meant to be like an M series, so it's pretty specific.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering when I saw like the interceptor part taking over for the Avenger.
Yeah, well, there probably, I would guess on the M50 there may be a version where you get like the advocacy version, right? The same way like you like you have a Humvee and there's the military Humvee and then there's the civilianized Humvee. So it's sort of all, it kind of depends. I mean, what we're trying to do is like make it like, I don't know, cars of today, where people have different models and switch it out, and I think it's kind of fun and a bit of it's sort of immersive is the idea. So we're like all those the commercial we did for the 300i, we're going to do for all the ships, and we'll be doing that in the game, and part of it is also assets for the game. So the idea is if you go into the ship dealer, the Origin ship dealer, you're seeing like this video running on a big hollow screen and stuff. So I mean, I've always wanted to have the level of immersion, so you're wandering around and it feels like a real, like it would do in the real world. So that's sort of,
like
I just being able to see which ones for it, and then when I saw the racer, I was like, ooh, I wonder how that compares to the M50.
Well, I think the M50, yeah, well, I think later on, Ben, we're going to show some M50 concept, I think.
It's a stretch goal, so you guys should keep pledging.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so the plan is we'll show that today or eventually, but that's more just like entering in a cockpit. So between that and a 350R, say that maybe the M50.
That is, we're gonna have some Corvettes later.
Sort of all the 350R is definitely the fastest 300 stuff, but the M50 is it's like the M series to the.
From what I was reading, it said if you max it out, the 50 for it just small.
No, that's our intention. So rather, what is that? Is that like a cannon in the front there?
Yeah, it is like a bazooka.
Bazooka? Okay. Sorry, I was just I saw the chair in the background, so it looked like it was the base of a mortar.
It's a beast machine. I brought some army stuff with me to show you guys later on at some point, so I'm gonna bring in some body armor to throw around so you guys can party around in it. I had a question actually. You were talking about like the supply chains and kind of all that stuff, and people doing piracy and all that action. And is it like, obviously, like if a pirate clan or guild or something had like a stranglehold on a trade route, would that possibly starve a system for supplies to a point where like it would be unavailable, or like the prices would go up or something like that?
Yep, absolutely. That's part of the simulation. Now, the system itself would like fight against that, because it would start generating missions for mercenaries to come in and help protect it, and it would trigger more law enforcement stuff. But yeah, absolutely. If like supplies aren't getting through to the economic nodes, that has an effect, because it's not being the economic node isn't able to generate money by selling items, because it can't make any more items. It runs loss for too long, then it's going to have to start laying off people. More people getting laid off, the unemployment increases on that planet, the crime will increase on the planet. So it all has a bit of a effect. If food isn't getting through, the population starts to starve, you start to lose population, you need population on the economic nodes to produce. So every economic node basically has two requirements. It has the employees, which come from the population, and it has the equipment that makes this stuff. And so if an economic node is doing really well and it's expanding, it needs to hire more people, and it has to bring more equipment in to build more. But it also has the combination of if